mes nusiteikę šurta norime paškančyti. Aš nežinau, na jų tiesiog paciel Bopi, Valdorti iš Barcelona, kad tu žurnį Pola, rasti media center, kad čia pas Žodšom sakyčiau, negavau darių, jeigu šalių praplaus, Enric Ruiz Geli.
So, was the presentation good? First, a photo with the logo. The logo. All lights on. All lights on. Yeah. First, a photo with the logo. It's a sponsor. It's a sponsor.
Yeah, the biggest one.
I'm doing my business, you know. I'm a professional. It's okay. You know? Will we be next year? So, every time I do a lecture, you know, it's very much a miracle I'm here, you know. I came all the way from LA, Barcelona, so I made it. And I like to throw some papers. So because of your heads, okay? I killed some guys that are taking a lecture in Princeton, but it's okay. So, maybe it's a performance, maybe it's nothing, maybe it's a building. I was for 5 years throwing papers in an office in Barcelona. His name was Iago Conde. He showed me flying papers are buildings. I said, okay. So why Kosovo? Why are we here? I'm here to tell you I am born in a small village, and today the world has become flat. As Bauman is saying, it's about liquid times. So we are a liquid. In fact, this is Kosovo, this is Barcelona, this is Spain, this is New York. I'm a teacher at AA. One of my students is here. So it's a liquid. The generation before had to do something really good in Barcelona to be successful in Madrid. To be very successful in Madrid, you could get to Paris, and at the end of your life, you will be successful in London. It was a vertical, strong lobby, strong hierarchy. Today, we are flat, it's bottom-up, internet made reality transparent. You can Google and you can know my fee, my contract, what my fee is on any of my buildings. It's like that, okay? Imagine how flat it is. This is my business card. I'm doing research with an economist. Jeremy Rifkin. Jeremy Rifkin is advising Obama. Now you have my cell phone. You are at 2 phone calls to Obama. Yeah, you're laughing, or maybe it's true. It's true. Now it's true. But before the internet, it was not true. Okay? So, what Priscilla needs, what Kosovo needs, is what happened in Barcelona. We got a lot of help, a lot of collaboration from people like Frank Geli. All the international architects came to us and helped us to collaborate. So I said yes to come and to collaborate. So we are a liquid. remember. You do something wrong in Kosovo, it doesn't happen in Barcelona, it doesn't work. We are linked, we are one. In the civilization of empathy, we are one. When Mr. Putin closes the gas to Germany, the stock market of Barcelona goes down. When someone finds children working in China for Nike goes down in California 15% in the stock market. It happens in a click. It's very fragile, but it's beautiful. It's transparent, it's democracy. We like it. So, I like him. The question to you is, if we are a liquid, what is the role of you in that liquid? I came here because this week is a revolution. It is the first time. You have settled a foundation to break ground and change. And a generation can use the platform of the foundation to push the city to change and to change politics. So, I like him because he's a positive virus. Okay? I'm suggesting, you know the movie, right? This was his house, his studio, and this was the city. This is like Truman Show. This is Tim Burton and this is Disney. This is IBM and these are the hackers. This is your studio. This is your country. This is this lecture and this is outside. Okay? But this is my studio and this is Barcelona. This is Barcelona and this is what we have been done really wrong in the coast, in the Mediterranean coast in Spain. Okay? What happens is that we need the system and we are the hackers. We are the positive hackers. We hack the system. As you have seen, he brings a lot of added value to empty lands, to no value land. We are bringing added value architecture to a very system lobby. This is IKEA. Okay? This is IKEA and these are my carpenters. This is a fab lab of MIT and this is IBM. We need the system. We hack them, they contract us. We need the system needs us. Strange, but interesting. Excuse me? The bad news. Okay? The bad news is that it's funny, but in Spain we build too much. This is in the north of Barcelona, this is in Puria Brava. It's built, it's not a movie. Okay? Be careful what you do with your coast. There's an architect doing these houses from the front, from the back, from the right, from the left. I'm hunting this architect. I think he might be in Kosovo. So please help me to hunt this guy. It's one architect. We hunt this guy and this stops. No, it's only one guy. It's not 200 architects. It's one guy. Stop this guy, stop the launch. Because it's not the client's fault. The clients, they are using carbon fiber bolts and at the same time they buy this house. This house is 2 years old. It's Flintstones. A client who likes Miami Vice buys Flintstones architecture. It's not the architect's fault, it's the client's fault. I don't know. So, our job is to bring knowledge to these places, these Truman Show places. It's easy to do architecture in Silicon Valley. It's easy. That's not my business. Our business as a generation is to bring strong added value to society, to public space. So we decided to attack Truman Show Villa with a villa moves. And we are using machines. This is a 3D printer. This is back in 2001. We can build dreams. It's cool to build. It's fast, it's easy. Clap. This is it. This is the house. It's only a house. I'd like to show you this project because there's young people who are going to have a chance to do a house. That chance, you can use it as a strong opportunity to build a lot of innovation. That's the wood form. Using parametric design, we're not wasting any wood. Again, more machines. That's a Saturday morning. We are sending files to the machine and the machine is printing. No negotiations, no meetings, no discussions, no convincing. Just do it. Just do it. One Saturday morning. Little time, not expensive. Done. Just do it. Just do it. So what's next? How should we continue? So we started with this idea of a cloud. We have beautiful clouds in our region, in our territory. So we have all this technology. We have a winter house and a summer house. We have a daylight and a night light. We have concrete structure. We have curved glass. We have a steel structure. We have a Korean skin. We have Teflon cushions in the roof. Steel structure, Teflon cushions, and ceramic skin to perform north elevation and south elevation. It is about concrete, projecting concrete. We are architects of making. I was here with the people of the office shooting concrete. I was here for 8 days shooting concrete. Not designing concrete, shooting concrete. Okay? It's making. We are architects of making. Making what? So like our bones and our structure, we have water and installations, and all the pipes are inside our body, the same as inside our house. We have tension like our bones and our structure. And in order to fly, we need this post-tense structure that are shooting. It's a little bit Batman house. Okay? It's important about resolution. So when you do complex geometries, you have to address very well the idea of resolution. What is your resolution? Here is 15 centimeters. To fly. Is it a house? Is it a boat? What is it? What is it? So what should the door be? We have a pop culture, and we know that doors can move. So in the Mediterranean culture, the door opens in the morning and closes in the night. So we have an hydraulic system at the bottom that moves the door 80 kilos using reinforced concrete. Very light concrete, only 2 centimeters. But there's one step which is unique and innovative in terms of using translucent concrete. In the back we have an LED panel with an Arduino computer where I can send messages to. Okay? Hello. We are not at home. Who are you? You are not my guest. It's about complex systems and complex architecture. People ask me, where is Enric getting all this energy from? Well, when I was back in the school in Barcelona, I had Enric Ruiz as a teacher. And Ruiz was telling us, do you see this croissant? What are you doing? It's breakfast. Yeah, do you see this croissant? Yes. It's not a croissant, it's a building. It's a croissant, yeah? So for 3 months we were freezing the croissant in the fridge at home, we were cutting the croissant, we were drawing the the section of the croissant, and the croissant has an inside space, has a structure, has temperature, has energy embodied, is a material, has humidity levels, and maybe has people living inside like microscopes. If it's 1 day later, for sure. So it's a building. It's a building. This is our generation. We can go to our clients and say, it's not a croissant, it's a building. What was happening in 1921? Everybody was creative. Everybody was designing its own bike. This bike, it's his design. Society was designing bikes. Today, corporate, IKEA, I think I know 6 designs of bicycles in the world, maybe 20. But we are millions of people. In this moment, in the 20s, everybody had a unique bike. So we are losing creativity. When 2 women in 1940, aluminium got to the industry of cars, lift a car. Hello, Marie, are you okay? Yes, yes, Tati, me too. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Try now to lift a car. Car should be paper, should be graphene, should be what? Should be not heavy. These ladies did it in 1940, today is 2013. We are losing creativity, we are losing knowledge. I like these engineers. They don't know what they are doing. They are doing a plane or a train. I like these engineers. Because they know it's not about the object, it's about the performance. It's about speed. What did you ask me to do? Speed. Well, you can speak now. That's it. So 1930, about performance. Performance. And when you are in school of architecture and your teacher tells you, oh, this idea is really too big. It's out of scale, out of proportion, it's too big for this place. I mean, where are you at, guys? You have too big ideas. Well, remember in 1935, imagine the door to open and to move the Zeppelin out. Is it ready? Yes. Open the doors. That was big. And we did it in 1935. Today will be a factory doing buildings. Finish, open the door, get the building out. Finish, another building, another building, another building. We are losing knowledge. So Belarus wants to talk about all this, does not want to lose knowledge, wants to enhance knowledge. Using complexity, this is the pool inside. We are using a curved glass, 1 glass, 1 mold, 1 glass, 1 mold. In these moments of beauty, and the studio feels, beautiful, good job. So people relax. Okay, when people relax, the good idea I propose you to do is to bring an artist. It's a mess. So bring an artist to the studio, they have very strong ego, and it becomes a mess. So we are inviting Vicky Colombet, she's great, she works in New York and she works with particles. We are doing architecture of particles. We have a bin roof that opens, that closes using Teflon, open, closes, open, closes. We have to wrap the system, we have to use textile. We are doing a clothes. We are designing clothes for the house. Glass is a liquid. It's very difficult to get glass straight. It's the most difficult thing ever. So let's use it as it is, as it performs. This is a natural performance. What about the ceramic? So in this moment we invited Federica Ma to join the design with us, an artist, a ceramist, and Tony Cumeya, both designing a curtain wall which operates with a strong chimney of air, really warm and heavy. We're using parametric design, they are all the same but not the same. So before building, I suggest you to do that. Do a simulation, do testing, do prototyping. What you see here is a projection of Vilanurs in 3D projected over Vilanurs. Vilanurs digitally projected over Vilanurs itself. Yeah? You need coffee? Do you need coffee? No. So, if I have a camera inside my 3D model in a position X, Y, Z, and I know the angle of my camera, and I put in the same X, Y, Z position a projector with the same angle of projection as the angle of my camera, agree? I render this and I map this render over itself. Yes? Yeah. So, that night we were shooting the mesh of the ceramic before building with the client, and I was showing, there's a window here. Oh, cut, reduce, enlarge, scale. Shoot. No. Another. You should project the mosque to convince the city. Okay? So, how many mistakes we will save in architecture by doing this? Or you don't have a client, but you do the projection on the building you want to do the project to. It's really activism. It's really attack. It's really our ideas and technology applied to the city. We have complex systems like ceramic, like molding, so we are able to do flat surfaces, unfold, back to fold. They're all the same, but they're all different. One mold, one piece. And this is the artist creating a mesh. He's doing landscape, painting each one. So architecture can host art and must be a platform to host contemporary culture. This is a skin of ceramic. So ceramics are not screwed to the wall like our skin is not screwed. Our skin works in traction and it's wrapping our body. So the skin is wrapping the building, the body, the house with cables. This is a monster. Frederic said, "Are you sure you want me to design the skin of a house?" Yes. "But I will kill your architecture." Yes. So, again, you are my friend. Are you sure you want me to do this? Yes. Is the client agree? Yes. Are you sure you want me to do this? Yes. But I will kill you. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Yes, just do it. I was at the opening in Sao Paulo of the big dome that Oscar Niemeyer did with the artist Tomio Take. You know this white dome? And there is a red artist sculpture inside. I was there at the opening. So the friends of Tony were entering through this door and were saying, "Wow, art is much better than architecture." Okay? And I was like, of course. But in this door, the friends of Niemeyer, Oscar, were also coming in. "You use art so well. Architecture wins." So it's possible to do architecture and art win-win. It's possible. It's risky, but it's possible. If we do that, we will host society. We will welcome society because society needs a platform to express. It's imbalance, but it's strong. It's where arts and crafts meets technology. It's difficult, but it's possible. So what about the North elevation? Here we are using Korean, one element, one byte, one object, all the same, all different, and we are using machines. Music by Ruiz Geli. No discussions, no meetings, just do it. I do a drawing, I convince these people, I explain, I have a meeting, there's another meeting, who is late, another meeting. But we are taking the responsibility to build, we are designers and makers. So now he's shooting a pen to a robot to see what's happening, to make sure it's right. It's where we are now. We need a robot to give him a pen to make sure the robot is right. Excuse me. So the robot is doing the drawing the architect said to do. Now he said, yes, it's good, I'm sure. Just do it. 6 millimeters of Korean, translucent, to produce the cloud. A cloud. Using cables, translucent. Half of the neighbors, they say it's landing. The other half is saying it's not landing, it's taking off. But in this place, it's an attack. It's a positive virus. People come to us and they say, we didn't know this is the future. And we say, it's today. It's not the future. Today technology, today architects, today clients, main material, it's today. Can I have a little bit lights? Just a little bit lights. You guys know this is Barcelona, yes? Who invited me? You invited me, right? No, less lights. Where are you going? Less lights. No, little lights. Little. Only this one, no, only the center one. You can find. You can find. Sure. Just make it. Over here. Come.
Oh, okay.
This is like on TV. Do you find it?
No.
Try. You will find that one. So, you guys know Barcelona? You know Gaudí? Okay. Smart building. Congratulations. So we were talking about that. So basically, you guys know this building, yeah? You know Gaudí? Okay. And who knows Jujo? No. Okay. So this is the work of two people. It's collective authorship. It's a retrofitting of an existing residential building. There was a building. It's a retrofitting. It's a new skin, a new roof. And Gaudí said, I'm going to put some mask on the balconies. And he did. All the Japanese go to Barcelona, they film, oh, Gaudí. They don't understand anything. Okay? Are you ready? Okay. What's happened? You changed?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, more attentive. Okay, are you sure?
What is the light?
Just do it.
Really hard.
Okay, team, we do the team. So, you don't know, but Jujo said it's a confetti party. It's written, this building, all the Japanese go there, they film, and they're filming a party. They're filming a party. Okay? If you read the text from Gaudí and Jujo, this is a confetti party of ceramics with masks in a carnival party in the middle of Barcelona. An attack. Another positive attack. Alright, number 2, Median City building. I think we got the best building of the world, and that's why we are here too, probably. The good news about Barcelona is that for the first time we are building a city based on the economy of knowledge. Not an economy of gas, oil, uranium, nuclear. It's not about water, it's not about resources, it's about ideas, creativity and knowledge. This is a city of knowledge. This has been built in the last 10 years. Good news is that this has district cooling and district heating, so it's a bit of clean energy. Good news is that we have bicycles here, so we are sharing mobility and reducing car traffic. Good news is that we are not doing a university outside the city between two highways where the land is cheap, but doing a university in the center of Barcelona. We're not doing headquarters outside of the city between that highway and another highway with cheap land, but in the center. And all of this is becoming an ecosystem of innovation with social housing. Social housing. Social housing. It's Silicon Valley and and social housing in the same block. The people working here are designing satellite software. Their fee per month is 6,000 euros, okay? And the people living here is 180 euros per month in the same block. This man moves, takes his bicycle here. This man also moves and takes his bicycle. They look to each other. That's one option. Another option, social housing in a ghetto. It's another option. Many cities are doing that. Okay? There's a place near the river, really far from the center, we can host these people. You see what happens in Brazil now? I was there in 2005. I had an office for 2 years doing workshops with favela kids. When I was there, the subway was $8. $8. Okay? The subway in Barcelona is $2. In Sao Paulo, $8. Of course, you increase the money of transportation, the ghettos don't move. It's funny, eh? Look now the revolution. They don't take it anymore. Enough. Sorry, enough. So here we are having a unique headquarters and social housing together. Is it possible? I think it's possible. We are trying very hard in Barcelona to produce a glue between these societies because we need one society, no ghettos. These are the good news. The bad news, the architects are not ready. There is not enough architects thinking economy is based in knowledge, and there is not enough engineers, and there's not enough builders. For instance, these are my friends. This is Carlos Ferrater, Catalan architect. He's really important in terms of design agenda from the 80s to the 90s. He did the revolution and he democratized design in all housing. So what looks like a steel building, Chicago steel structure, it is not. It's only 6 millimeters of steel and inside is concrete. This is a concrete structure looking like steel. Okay? This building is by Boigas, Mayor Boigas. He is using a concrete structure inside, and outside is using aluminum panels looking like a steel structure. That's postmodernism. Okay? This is architecture which is a language that does not perform. One thing is the language, another thing is the performance. This one is a language of a language, 2 times language. Okay? It's okay, I respect them. But in a social, sustainable agenda, we cannot do buildings of 1,000 kilos a square meter to host an office of 200 kilos a square meter. Okay? This chair is 4 kilos. Okay? The designer got 100 kilos. Stop recording. But use only 4 kilos of material, of energy, of sustainable, of recycling, of transportation. For 100 performance, only 4 kilos. This is the opposite. 200 kilos performance, 1,000 kilos building. What are we doing? Okay? So when Mr. Fuller was on the helicopter visiting the building of Foster, the new building with the factory, Bucky said to Mr. Foster, "How much your building weighs?" He had no answer. He said, "I'll check back in the office." Too late. If you know your weight, you know your material, you know your energy, you know your crowd, you know your distance, your transportation, and so on. Okay? So the solution in Barcelona that we have achieved is this building. This building is 250 kilos square meter performance, weighs 250 kilos. One. Okay, so it's 4 times lighter than this one. This is cheaper field doing a building, and this is a commercial office. Both structures were going up, concrete structures were going up, and you were saying, why this one is thicker than this one? They have the same problem. But this one was posting concrete over the skin, but not using concrete as a structure, only as a skin. To use concrete as only skin when you can use it as a skin and a structure makes no sense in sustainable terms. These are good news and bad news. Good news is that lightness has been always here. You see, it's complex, light, thin, screw, no welding, all very smart. So that's what we are doing. Choosing a concrete building to a steel building, this is 40% less weight. Concrete steel, 40% less weight. Steel in compression or steel in traction, 20% less weight. 60% less weight. 60% less weight means 60% less foundations. The foundations in Barcelona, 2.5 million euros. 60% less, 1.2 million euros savings. Maybe your business is concrete? Sorry. Your fathers maybe are semi-concrete? Sorry. With me, no business. Excuse me?
Wood instead of steel.
It's a question or a contract? I take the question and the contract. So, all the floors are hung from this big truss. Okay, you see that. This is when we started. This is the star architect. but it's not true. The real star is this guy. And the real star are these 8 robots working together to balance the structure. So we are lifting the structure using cables. This is 320,000 euros cheaper. Normally you do a secondary structure and then you build your building on top and then you break the secondary structure down. What we did was we worked 3 months down, so no problems of security, everybody's safe, 4 meters high, and in 1 day, all up. Okay. These robots are cheaper. Less time, less risk, less material, less structure. So the construction companies are ready for this challenge of digital architecture. These are the nuts, what we call flowers. We are against this. This is a centralized system. If this collapses, the building collapses. Imagine a wall with 1 cell phone. Imagine a wall with 1 computer. Imagine a wall with 1 structure. We are distributed. So what's very important is that we move from centralized to distributed. This is a distributed structure. Our building is a distributed structure. The good news is we have digital people working, digital factories. No discussions, no meetings. Making. This was again one Saturday morning. Are you ready? Did you send your email? Yes, it's already sent it. And is it good? Of course it is. Yeah, but we are like that. You have another option. You send your design to the builder. The builder sends the design to the structure to the steel workers to the subcontractor. This is 7 people. And then you get some drawings. And then you think, that's not look like my work. It's 7 times translation of my work. You don't want that. And your client don't want that. So these are the flowers, really cheap, because what do we pay? Do we pay steel weight? No, it's very light. Do we pay concrete weight? No, it's very light. What do we pay? We pay time. Fast machines, and we pay time. Little time, we pay very little. But we have money, and we pay very little. So we can say a high performance. Little steel, a high performance steel. Okay, that's the formula. This is a distributed structure. If this bar collapses, all the bars together collaborate with that one. So the building does not collapse. We are distributed. We are collective authorships. The star architect is over. The one designer is over. The team designers, the collective authorships, the distributed thinking, the distributed attack, the distributed activism. People come to the building and they say, oh, this Enric is always doing this formalist architecture. I say, sorry, this is exactly the diagram of forces that the wind is producing over the building. Our engineers told us exactly the performance, which is a volcano shape. Here from the very, very top, you have a strong stress. You have to bring this down as a volcano shape. When the wind is here, you bring this down. And when the wind is here, you also bring this down. There is 18 different bars. So we said to the client, I can design one bar for all the skin, or each bar its own thickness. But I need 80,000 more euros in my fee. So as a client, where do you want the money? In kilos of steel or in knowledge of the architect and the engineers? Where do you want the money? In our fees or buying steel? The client said, Enric, you're always playing this poker. I don't get it. I said, it's easy. If you put 80,000 euros in me and the engineers, you will save 225,000 euros on steel. I promise. Well, then do it. Then we did it. Where do we want the money? In steel or in our fees? There's a lot of steel industry in the Guys, that was an easy question. We work with biologists, and that's what we do when we work with them, working with particles. Charges, energy. We did this before Avatar, okay? Yeah, because I was listening here some comments already. This treasure. They gave us the best European award on steel structure during the construction in Europe. It's a building suspended. We have a French philosopher, Paul Virilio, who works with us. He likes to go to cathedrals. He goes to cathedrals and he hugs the column of the cathedral and feels the weight. It's not a postcard. It's not a postcard. It's a performance. When you see a cathedral, there's a rain of tones falling down. That's what happens, okay? So the students of architecture, they come here and they have this and they say, yes, I feel it, oh, I feel it. Oh. No. To create this empty lobby, it's a suspended structure to create emptiness. Nothing. A place for events, for exhibitions. We do workshops with children on Friday, and the children, they enter this door and they say, Enric, something is missing. There's no exhibition coming, sure. Something is missing. Draw what is missing. They draw colors. These children are 8 years and 10 years. The good news, we have smart children. The bad news, they are recording everything we do. That's our responsibility. We do columns, they think columns are necessary. They are recording, they are the client. It's not obvious that children with 8 years, they go into a fashion contemporary building and they say, excuse me. So, attention, guys. Take this responsibility as I do. So, we are building a second scheme to protect the building. This is exactly 4 people using Teflon. The thickness of Teflon is 200 microns, it's 0.2 millimeters. You invite an architect to come here with a building that the thickness is 0.6 millimeters of material. Are you crazy or what? That's what's happening. You are inviting an architect with 0.6 millimeters of material. That's the thickness of our architecture. So energy. We are in global warming. It's bad news. It's good news for the tourism and bad news. When I was a student in high school, summer was August. When I was a student of architecture, summer was July, August, September. Now I am a father with children. Summer is 10th of May, 11th of October. I'm not talking about crazy Germans in the beach of Barcelona in May. No, I'm saying the beach is full and we are all there swimming. So if someone thinks global warming is not happening, sorry. In 2000, the line of desertification was in Morocco. In 2010, the line of desertification in terms of temperature went up to Malaga. Part of Spain is now, in terms of performance and weather and temperature, Africa. In 2020, this line will be near Catalonia, in the Ebro river. Half of Spain will be a desert in 7 years, in terms of temperatures. Number one cause of global warming, buildings. We consume 90% of the total energy. Cities. We emit 40% of the CO2 emissions. Buildings. Our designs. We are number one cause. Number third cause, cars. Cars are doing business and are doing their work, are moving electric. What is architecture doing? What are cities doing? I I saw your chimneys burning coal. Spain still does it. There's still a few coal there, and they're going to burn it all of it. Why? We have wind. Spain has 50% of the energy production in clean energy. We have enough photovoltaics and enough wind to produce 50% of what we need. This country is a possibility, it's a challenge, it's an opportunity. Depends on us. The children with 8 years will make sure it happens, and they will help. We can prepare the ground for that to happen. So, whenever you see a building with the same solution, east, west, south, and north, is not considering 280% energy. Okay? So our manifesto is every skin of the building has an energy performance. So every skin of the building needs its own technology. There are different technologies. We would like our economy to grow 3%, and we don't look at 300% in terms of energy. Germany's economy grows 1.2, and we love it. Europe grew 3%, 3.5%, and Europe discovered the East and started to build all over the East. And we are not looking at 300%, and we love 1%. Why? Why? We have a new code of construction in Europe, which is saying save energy 15%. It's a new code, it's 3 years old. All countries are doing it. Please save 15% of energy by law. But Kyoto is 20%. So the new law is less than Kyoto. Imagine. And when all the prime ministers they meet in Copenhagen, they are there, they are going to sign the protocol of Kyoto. Me, as an architect, I think, dear Zapatero, dear President, sign. And then he says to me, but your buildings are 15. Why do I have to sign 20? So I say, no, I don't do buildings of 15. I'm going to do buildings of 70 to make sure you sign 20. Okay? So what you will do in your buildings is a movement so that your country does it. If you don't do it, don't complain about it. They're not going to do it. So energy in Mediterranean, in Spain, means this. 80% of the consumption of a building is air conditioning. This is our winter, 2 weeks. Heat is peanuts. Air conditioning is 80% of the consumption. If we want to bring down the energy by 70%, I have to attack air conditioning. So I have created a double skin, glass and Teflon in the front. I like the light to go through, but not the heat. So if the light goes through, I don't need artificial light. But if the heat doesn't go through, I don't need AC. No AC, no artificial light. So what the cushion is doing is that there is 3 membranes, and the middle membrane is closing. There's a sensor, a luxometer. When the luxometer feels 500 luxes heat per square meter, it closes the cushion. It closes the membrane. Only by doing that, we achieve 36% reduction on CO2 emissions. That's almost 2 times Kyoto. So why not to design buildings at comfort levels? Why don't we design a building at comfort level? Why do we have to use all this energy to bring the building down to comfort level? This is Teflon being used. I was here in 2002. This is by Nicholas Grimshaw. He did these greenhouses, great project, you should go, it's in Cornwall. You know this place. Barca was here and got 4 Germans. So I keep this image to remember. Next next time now Guardiola is there, so it's going to be even worse. So that's the Beijing water cube. It's not a performance building, it's an icon building, it's a pop culture building, which also does energy performance. And this is for the first time in Spain, we have homologated Teflon to be used in TFE, and it is one of the first ETFE buildings as energy performance buildings, only energy performance buildings. Just do it. So here we have vertical cushions, 36 meters tall, and here we are using a new technology, using particles. The building creates a cloud, and inside the cushions we have this cloud that stops the sun to go inside and to consume air conditioning. Enjoy. using nitrogen. There is nitrogen in this air. 70% of this air is nitrogen. Nitrogen is a very light particle. We are adding natural oil, 20% on that 80% so that it has weight. Therefore, a very light building, but a very heavy particle, not that fog moves. This is sensing how much light goes from one to the other. As you can see, it doesn't work, it's a mess. But the director of Vector Forte is very happy. I was thinking, my God, if this is Germany, So again, remember, we are a liquid. Made in Germany, we are a liquid. It's one thing. We are one thing. So this is a prototype on site in the building performing. When the building feels 500 watts square meter heat per hour, shoots. So in the peak of summer, when the building is going to consume a lot of air conditioning, the building shoots the cloud, creates the cloud. Here you see the shadow. from transparent, translucent. These are photos around mid-July. That's the view from the inside. That's the system, it's a new pattern. We're using nitrogen and natural oil. So we are creating the cloud goes inside, it stays for 3 hours, that's the peak of the heat, no use of air conditioning, and then after that we have to recycle the cloud and shoot the nitrogen back to the atmosphere and filter that oil and recycle the oil and reuse the oil again. This is the other skin where we are using a membrane pattern, which is using the luxometers. The building has about 600 sensors to reduce consumption. When there is people moving, we have lights. Lights follow people. Every movement has 3 phases, and we are in phase 2. It's a radical moment. It's a moment of law, regulation. The building is on top of society, and the building follows society. This video is by Victor Llanos from the office. She's alone in the building, but she's not alone. She talks to the building. Do you see me? I'm here. Sensors to stop the, I want the lights on, but this is a glass wall, there's enough light in the first 3 meters, 500 luxes at the table, at the desk, no need of light, so the building will not turn the lights on. Another part is that we do monitoring. It's important that we as architects, we finish the construction, we give the key, bye-bye. Enjoy it. Any engineer who has designed a new car will drive the car a little bit and test it and get some data out. So it's very important we do design contracts, knowledge contracts, but also monitoring contracts. For 2 years we have been in the building monitoring results. If we think it's successful, why to go out? Why to leave the place? So this is the Arduino platform. You guys know Arduino? These small computers you can buy online on the internet. It's the revolution. If you have Intel, it's one thing. If you have Arduino, it's open source. It's, you can have and download the script from internet. It's $8. It's a strong performance. It's a smart. In this building, we spend 80,000 euros in all these smart devices. In a building of 23 million euros, 80,000 on smart. Smart is cheap. The engineers, they talk too much about it and they become expensive. But a sensor that activates lights with my voice is 2 euros. The engineers would like 20,000 euros to put it on. But that sensor is 2 euros, okay? It's exactly 2 euros. So intelligence is cheap. Why not to embed it? Why not to distribute it? So each cushion has one sensor. Instead of having a central unit in the roof that operates all the building, if that unit collapses, all the building collapses. Instead of that, 104 computers in the skin, one by one. That's what we call distributed intelligence. Even for fire, these are different awards we got to use Teflon. But most the bigger one we are most happy with is this. The building is category A in terms of energy, which means 72% reduction of CO2 emissions. And because we have monitor results, sometimes the building is net zero, sometimes the building is 95 reduction of CO2 emissions. So I'm teaching at the AA, okay? And I am teaching green agenda. And the students know that the building is E. They are looking to the building, right? It's E, and you are teaching A. What's the problem? Reality is now very, very, very low compared to our knowledge. We are breaking reality with a very strong knowledge. Never, never, ever in society we had so much innovation, so much patents, so much education, so many languages, so good papers, so much innovation, so much patents, and so little reality. Okay? So please change reality. The good news is that the cost of the mini ICT building is this one. This is the real cost of construction. 1,200 euros a square meter. I had 2,000 euros a square meter to design the building. I checked the neighbors, and all the neighbors I was going to criticize, okay, spent 1,200 to build their buildings. So how can I do a green building with 2,000, and then it's a unique building, and then there's no more green buildings ever, because there's no more money, ever. So it was necessary to do a green building, net zero, market cost. That's the real revolution. Like everybody, the same money as everybody, back to net zero. Okay? And how can this happen? Because we use parametric design. We are using CAD drawings and Excel documents with a script. They are connected. I change my numbers here and my plans, they change. I change the plans and my numbers change. If you know, in an office building, the communication radio is very important. This is Kevin Roach, the Ford Foundation in New York. You guys know the building? Ford Foundation in New York. It's the world record of the communication device. It's about 12%. 12% of the program is used is a vertical communication. So we wanted to kill these numbers, and we have achieved a 9% core communication. Use the computers. We have all computers, so use them. So basically, the end of the lecture. We have achieved very strong architecture, but we have to know about green gardens, we have to know about nitrogen, we have to know about Arduino, we have to know about fog, we have to know about district cooling. We are architects of this opera. Buildings are operas. Masters of work, with a lot of complexity. Now we are the directors of this opera. That's the building. Welcome to the building. That's the book, 7 years of knowledge at your disposal. Open source. When I go to Princeton, for instance, I know the students, they pay about $58,000 to be there and to be with me, and they pay me a lot of money for the lectures, but 3 hours later, my lecture is in internet for everybody. So I said, excuse me guys, are you crazy? You are paying to be with me, to share this, to have this knowledge, and now you put it online for free for everyone. This generation is doing that. It's living by sharing. Okay? That's why I'm here. This is living by sharing. Thank you. How many of these are on the board?
Can you do a design for the mosque in Pristina, please?
Excuse me?
Can you do a design for the mosque in Pristina, please?
There's a winner, and they should do it. I have, the reality is huge, and there's so much to do, and there is a good team being launched, so it's sharing, it's not competing. Let me explain this better. There is this concept of open innovation. You have heard about this? Open innovation. So in the old model, I was registering an innovation and I was patenting an innovation and I was spending 30,000 euros to protect my knowledge from China. Recording, okay? That was the bad days. I was sending my new materials to Madrid. This is a new material. And Madrid 3 months later was saying, we got your material. I said, no, what material? I need the results. Is this new or not? Well, you have to wait for 6 more months. I don't know, maybe. This was very expensive, centralized lobby. That's one way. Another way. I send my prototypes to private companies with only 3,000 euros, not 30,000, 3,000. In 2 weeks, I have fire results, I have innovation results. Excuse me, this material is new. And I can protect myself or share. That's open innovation. We patent to know that we are innovative, but we patent to share. In the old days, Mercedes was designing the aluminium car, Audi was designing the aluminium car, and Toyota was designing the aluminium car. Each one was spending 18 million euros to get to the same result, and everybody was getting 7 years later. I copy you, I copy you, I copy you. Yeah, you have spent 3 times 80 million euros. How about sharing? The 3 together, you know what? We are different. Why to compete if we are different? Are we different? Are we different? So what's our role? Let's bring innovation to society. Let's spend 80 million, share by 3, and with that budget I can do 3 innovations for society. That's open innovation. We have to move from competing who's the architect of the mosque to the city is the project. And we are all working for that city, that street. Every corner is a fight. Every street needs an added value. Architecture happens everywhere, as we do. Thanks for the question.
Fazer show que já teve aqui na Coca, vou volta que nós. Você conseguiu assim?
No translation?
Calma. Listen. Fazer show.